Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Cindy here from CLB Craft Creations with another card project for you today. This is the card that we're going to be making today. It features the Nature's Perfection stamp set, which is actually a free set through Sale-a-bration. Today is the last day that you can order or get this set for free with a $50 purchase. So if you are waiting for this set, you should go ahead and make your purchases final. So we're going to go ahead and feature the set. To get started, we're going to bring in a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and we're also going to take these little 1-inch squares that I've already cut. You can use a square punch. I just used my trimmer and I cut them. They're 1 by 1, and I'm going to strategically place these. Okay, and then so we're kind of doing a layered stamping effect. They certainly don't have to be perfect. I mean, perfectly lined up. And then I'm going to take the flower stamp. I'm using Pool Party ink, Island Indigo, and Calypso Coral. So I'm going to, I've also got my Stampin' scrubber over here on the side. So I'm going to stamp off, or clean it in between the stamping. So I'm going to start with Pool Party. Ink that up, and then I'm just going to stamp right on top of it. And I'm not really making a whole lot of care. I just want to make sure that I leave that on there long enough for it to get all around the square. Now you see it's stuck on there, so that's fine. Just go ahead and plop that off. I'm going to clean my stamp. And I'm going to go in with the Calypso Coral. And you also want to maybe rotate a little bit so you get a slightly different image, and you don't always have to stamp directly onto the square. So I'm going to kind of go off a little bit on this one. And this is kind of the fun part, because it's always neat to see where they actually end up. So when you go to put your backer piece on and line it up, it looks really cool. Okay, and now we're going to go with the Island Indigo. And I actually am going to just line this up a little bit and just down here. Sorry if my head's getting in the way there. Okay, so the Island Indigo, again, I'm going to rotate it a little bit and then stamp. And as long as you catch some piece of that 1-inch square, you'll be fine. So see, that one's a completely different look. Okay, and put that away. Now, I'm going to do one other thing, which I didn't do on these. I'm not stamping onto those little squares, and I'm going to bring in my my Swallowtail stamp. And this is a very large stamp, as you can see. I'm going to kind of angle it, because when I go to put my paper down, I want it to go just like that. Okay? I'm going to use Sahara sand ink, because it's one of the lightest. You certainly could use any colors, other color combinations that you want. I just happen to like this color combo. Okay, now, I don't need, I want to stamp this off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a scrap piece of paper, lightly, just rub my hand on it. Okay, and now I'm going to take my card. Like I said, so I've got this angled the way that I want it on the card. And I'm going to take my card front and I'm just going to lay it right on top. Okay, now I'm going to take my scrap again. I'm going to hold that down and I'm just going to rub. You want to apply even pressure all across that stamp. Okay, just make sure you get all the areas. Okay, you can take your scrap off and then voila. So it goes that way. And of course I did it the wrong direction, so now I need to change the way that my thing lays. Now it really wouldn't matter. I guess we could have it so that it was flying down. So make sure that when you put your card, I didn't actually make sure that it was going the right direction. But that's okay, because that's the beauty of this. And I had something on my stamp there. Okay, so now we have that. And actually I'm going to change this up a little bit too. I'm going to take that flower and I'm going to do I'm going to do one of these flowers in the background there too. And again, this is with the Sahara sand. And the stamp is just Stampin' off, just to kind of break up some of that white. Okay? Stampin' on the fly here. Okay. Our next step is going to be, we can actually set this aside for just a second because I want to bring in my scrap of Whisper White, which of course I can't find. Oh, here it is, right in front of me. Okay, and then I'm going to take my butterfly stamp and I'm going to stamp. So this one I did the Calypso Coral with Island Indigo, and I think for this one I'm going to do the Pool Party butterfly. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that, and then I'm going to do, let's do the words in Calypso Coral. And then we're just going to stamp those right there. Okay, I'm going to bring in my butterfly punch, punch that out. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my word window punch, and I'm going to punch out my words. I'm going to make sure I leave enough. I guess we'll just center it up in there. Okay, so now we've got those two done. And what we can do now is just go ahead and add our stamped flowers to our little pieces. Now these are now cut at 1 1/8, so it just gives a tight little border all the way around. Okay, and there is no formula for this. You just put them on, try and get a nice even border, unlike what I just did. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of those. Just one on the back of each one. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Whisper White piece and I'm going to attach it to my Crumb Cake cardstock, which is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Make our standard card. Bring in my snail. Center that up on my card. Okay, and then we can put our pieces on. Now this shouldn't be very difficult to line up. So you just want to kind of eyeball those before you put them down so you can see where they're going to go. They should all be fairly easy to puzzle piece back in there. Now this one might be a little bit difficult because I actually did like the center of this one. I think there, that's actually perfect right there. Okay, so then you can just peel off the back of your dimensionals and place those down. The nice thing with this technique is that it's actually pretty forgiving. So if you make a mistake, you kind of cover up a good portion of it. So okay, now bring in our final one. Okay, very 3D look. I love it. All right, now I think so we could do that there and put this here. Actually, I think I am going to change this up a little bit. So I'm going to make, I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of my butterfly, just in the center. And I'm going to stick him right over here in the corner. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put some dimensionals. Actually, I'm going to need to cut a strip here. No waste with your dimensionals, guys. So I'm just going to cut a little strip. Just put that right in the back. And then I'm going to put this right over here. And there's our finished card. I love it. I think it turned out beautiful. And then here's the other one where I've got the butterfly actually attached to the sentiment. So there's definitely some variations. You could even put some rhinestones in these. Put some dazzling diamonds on here. I'm going to leave the glitter off this time, but I thought that they were really cute. I love the layered stamping. And we did multiple layers. If you think about it, we did the butterfly in the background, and then we did the layering with the flower. So again, I hope you liked this card project. If you did, hit the like button. Remember that Sale-a-bration ends today, so if there are things that you want out there, you should make sure you get your orders placed in before 12 o'clock midnight Mountain Time, so you can get your free products. Again, that was a $50 order for you pick one item for every $50 that you order. All right, so thanks for checking out today, guys, and I will see you next time.